I thought I had buried my past. I thought my husband knew everything. I thought the woman I used to be had died the day I put on his ring. Her name was Lena, the woman I used to be, and I hated her. I hated the way she drank too much. I hated the way she spread her legs for men whose last names she did not know. I hated the way she woke up in strangers' beds and called it freedom. I buried her 6 years ago, the morning I met Marcus. Marcus Cole. Tall, quiet. The kind of man who held doors open and meant it. The kind of man who looked at me like I was something precious, something worth protecting, something that had never been touched by the filth of my own hands. I did not tell him everything. I told him I had a past. I told him I had made mistakes. I told him I was not proud of who I used to be. But I did not tell him about the nights, the 3 years-long parade of men whose faces I have forgotten, the hotel rooms, the back seats, the bathrooms at bars where I let strangers put their hands on me because I was too drunk to say no and too empty to say yes. I did not tell him about Derek Vance, my ex-boyfriend, the only man I ever loved before Marcus, and the only man I ever truly destroyed. Derek and I were together for 2 years. 2 years of fighting, fucking, lying, crying. 2 years of me coming home at 4 a.m. with someone else's cologne on my neck and Derek pretending not to smell it. 2 years of him forgiving me over and over until one day he stopped. He did not scream. He did not cry. He just looked at me across the kitchen table and said, "You are not capable of love, Lena. You are just capable of need. And I am tired of being needed by someone who does not know how to want." I left him that week. I did not look back. I told myself he was weak. I told myself he was the problem. I told myself that I would find someone stronger, someone who could handle my hunger without starving himself. I found Marcus, and I buried Lena. Or so I thought. The party was on a Saturday, June. A backyard barbecue at my best friend's house. The kind of summer evening where everyone is too hot, too drunk, too loud. Marcus was wearing the blue shirt I bought him for his birthday. He looked beautiful. He looked like safety. He looked like the man who had saved me from myself. I was wearing a red dress, too tight, too short, the kind of dress Lena would have worn. I did not think about that then. I just wanted to feel pretty. I wanted Marcus to look at me the way he used to, like I was the only woman in the room. He did look at me, but so did someone else. Derek was standing by the grill. I did not see him at first. He was hidden behind a crowd of people I did not know. But then he stepped forward. He was holding a glass of whiskey. His face was older, thinner, harder, but his eyes were the same. Those pale blue eyes that had watched me walk out the door 6 years ago and had never stopped watching. My heart stopped. My hands started shaking. Marcus leaned over and whispered, "You okay, baby? You look like you have seen a ghost." I forced a smile. "I'm fine," I said. "Just hot. Can you get me some water?" Marcus kissed my forehead and walked toward the house. That was my mistake. Leaving him alone, letting Derek see me without my armor. Because the second Marcus was gone, Derek was in front of me, close, too close. I could smell the whiskey on his breath. I could smell the old resentment, the old anger, the old hunger that had never been fed. "Lena," he said. His voice was soft. That made it worse. If he had screamed, I could have screamed back. But he was soft. He was calm. He was a man who had been waiting 6 years for this moment and had rehearsed every word. "You look good," he said. "Marriage agrees with you. Or maybe it's just the dress. You always did know how to use that body, didn't you?" I did not answer. I tried to walk away. He grabbed my wrist. Not hard. Just enough to stop me. "I saw your husband," he said. "He seems nice. Seems like a good guy. Does he know, Lena? Does he know about the old you? About the nights you didn't come home? About the men whose names you don't even remember? I tried to pull my hand away. He would not let go. Let go of me, Derek, I said. My voice was shaking. He smiled. That cruel, beautiful smile that had once made me weak in the knees. Now it just made me sick. I will let go, he said. But first I want to ask him a question. Your husband, I want to ask him if he knows that you cheated on me with 3 of his groomsmen. I want to ask him if he knows that you fucked a bartender in the bathroom the night before our anniversary. I want to ask him if he knows that you are not capable of love, that you are just capable of pretending. None of it was true. The groomsmen? I had never met them. The bartender? A lie. The anniversary? We did not have anniversaries because we never made it that far. But Derek said it with such certainty, such venom, such beautiful cruelty, that it did not matter if it was true. It sounded true, and Marcus walked back into the room just in time to hear the last sentence. The men whose names you don't even remember. That is what Derek said. That is what Marcus heard. The glass in his hand, my water, the water he had gone to get for me because I was too scared to get it myself, shattered on the ground. The sound was loud, too loud. Everyone turned. Everyone stared. Marcus did not look at Derek. He looked at me, and the expression on his face was not anger. I could have handled anger. I could have fought anger. I could have screamed back at anger. But this was not anger. This was the look of a man who had just realized that he had been married to a stranger for 6 years. This was the look of a man who had built a life on a foundation of lies and was watching it crumble in real time. Marcus, I said. My voice was a whisper. Marcus, please. He is lying. He is drunk. None of that is true. Marcus did not speak. He just looked at me. Then he looked at Derek. Then he looked at the shattered glass on the ground. And then he walked away, not fast, not slow, just walked toward the gate, toward the car, toward the exit of my life. I ran after him. I grabbed his arm. I begged. I begged the way I had never begged anyone. Please, I said. Please, Marcus. I love you. I have never loved anyone the way I love you. That woman he is talking about, that is not me. That woman died the day I met you. I am not her anymore. I am yours. I am only yours. He stopped. He turned. He looked at me with those dark eyes that had once held my entire world. And he said, I do not know who you are, Lena. I thought I did. But I do not. And I cannot be married to a stranger. He got in the car. He drove away, and I stood there in my red dress, in the middle of the street, in front of everyone we knew, and I watched the taillights disappear. No one came after me. No one said, Are you okay? No one put a hand on my shoulder. They just stared. The way you stare at a car accident, the way you stare at something tragic and beautiful and completely beyond your ability to fix. I walked home that night, 3 miles in heels, in a red dress, in the dark. I did not cry. I could not cry. I was too empty, too shocked, too busy replaying Derek's words over and over in my head. Does he know? About all of them? About the nights you didn't come home? He was lying. Most of it was lies, but not all of it. That was the knife that would not stop twisting. Because some of it was true. Some of it was very, very true. And I had never told Marcus. I had never told him about the nights I did not come home. About the men whose names I did not remember. About the woman I used to be. I had buried her, but I had not killed her. And now she had risen from the grave, wearing my face, holding a microphone, and announcing my sins to the only man who had ever loved me. Marcus did not come home that night, or the next, or the week after. He did not answer my calls. He did not read my texts. He sent his brother to pack his things. His brother Jake. Jake who had been my friend. Jake who had danced with me at my wedding. Jake who looked at me that day with something between pity and disgust and said, "He needs time, Lena. He needs to figure out if he can trust you. And between you and me, I do not think he can." I watched Jake pack Marcus's clothes, his shoes, his watch, the photo of us from our honeymoon. He left the ring. It was sitting on the nightstand, right next to my side of the bed. Marcus had taken it off. He had placed it there like a verdict. I picked it up. It was still warm. It still smelled like him. And I realized that I had lost him, not because of Derek, not because of the lies, but because of me, because of Lena, because I had spent 6 years pretending that the past did not matter, that the woman I used to be was dead, that I could become someone new just by wanting it badly enough. But wanting is not the same as becoming, and burying is not the same as healing. I had buried Lena without mourning her, without understanding her, without forgiving her, and she had clawed her way out of that grave at the worst possible moment and destroyed the only good thing I had ever had. The weeks that followed were a fog. I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. I stopped leaving the house. I replayed that night over and over. The glass shattering. Marcus's face. Derek's smile. The way everyone had stared. I hated Derek. I hated him with a fury that terrified me. But I hated myself more. Because Derek did not create the cracks in my marriage. He just pointed at them. And I had been pretending they did not exist for 6 years. I started seeing a therapist, not because I wanted to, because my mother made me. She drove 4 hours to sit on my couch and hold my hand and say, "You cannot lose yourself again, Lena. You cannot let that woman win. You have to fight for yourself before you can fight for your marriage." The therapist's name was Dr. Vivian. She was sharp. She was kind. She did not let me make excuses. "You lied to your husband," she said. "Not about the affairs. You did not have affairs in your marriage. You were faithful to Marcus, but you lied about who you were before him. You let him believe that you had always been the woman he fell in love with. But that woman did not exist. You created her. You performed her. And the performance was so good that you started believing it yourself. But performances always end. The curtain always falls. And when it does, the audience is left wondering who they were clapping for. I cried in her office. Ugly crying. The kind of crying that leaves you exhausted and empty and raw. And I told her everything. About Derek, about the men, about the nights I did not come home. About the shame that had been rotting inside me for years. "You are not a monster, Lena," Dr. Vivian said. "You are a woman who did not know how to love, and you cannot learn to love by burying your past. You can only learn by facing it." So I faced it. I wrote Derek a letter, not an angry one. I had written 100 angry letters in my head. This one was different. This one said, "You were right about me. I was not capable of love. Not then. But I am learning. And I am sorry. Not because you embarrassed me. Because I embarrassed myself. I hurt you. I used you. I treated you like you were disposable. And you did not deserve that. No one does. I did not mail the letter. Dr. Vivian said I did not have to. The point was not to send it. The point was to write it. To say the words out loud, to stop running from Lena and start understanding her. And slowly, painfully, I began to understand. Lena was not evil. Lena was scared. Lena was a woman who had never been taught that she was worthy of love. So she collected men like trophies to prove that she was desirable. She slept with strangers to feel wanted. She pushed people away before they could push her. She tested love because she did not believe she deserved it. Sound familiar? It should. That was the woman I had been testing Marcus with for 6 years. Not with affairs. I never cheated on Marcus. That was the one line I never crossed. But I tested him. I pushed him. I picked fights. I accused him of things he did not do. I tried to make him leave over and over because I was so certain that he would. And every time he stayed, every time he proved me wrong, until he could not, until the weight of my testing became too heavy, until Derek's words became the final stone that broke the camel's back. He did not leave because of Derek. He left because of me, because I had spent 6 years teaching him to doubt me. And when Derek gave him a reason to doubt, he was already primed to believe it. I did not see Marcus again until the divorce hearing. 6 months after the party, 6 months of silence, 6 months of me learning to live alone, to sleep alone, to wake up alone. He looked thinner. His eyes were tired, but he was still beautiful. He was still the man I loved. He sat on the other side of the room. He did not look at me. The judge asked if we had anything to say. Marcus spoke first. His voice was quiet, steady. "I loved her," he said. "I loved her more than I have ever loved anyone. But I cannot be married to someone I do not know, and I do not know her. I thought I did, but the person I married was a performance, and I cannot build a life with a performance." Then it was my turn. I stood up. My hands were shaking. My voice was shaking. But I said what I needed to say. "He is right," I said. I performed, I hid. I was so afraid of being seen, really seen, that I built a version of myself that was safe and clean and easy to love. But that version was not real. The real me is messy. The real me has a past. The real me has done things I'm not proud of. But the real me also loves him. The real me has been faithful to him. The real me has grown. The real me is still growing. And I am sorry that I did not show him that sooner. I am sorry that I was too scared to let him see the real me until it was too late. The judge granted the divorce. It took 10 minutes. 10 minutes to end 6 years of marriage. 10 minutes to erase a lifetime of promises. Marcus walked out first. He did not look back. I watched him go, and I did not cry, because I had cried enough. I had cried for months. I had cried until my eyes were dry and my chest was hollow. There were no tears left for the courthouse. It has been 2 years now. I am not married. I am not dating. I am learning to be alone. I am learning to be Lena, not the Lena who slept with strangers, not the Lena who performed for her husband. Just Lena, messy, imperfect, still growing. I still think about Marcus. I still love him. I will probably always love him. But love is not enough. Love does not erase the past. Love does not rebuild trust. Love does not make up for years of lying, even if the lies were lies of omission. He deserved better than me. Not because I am bad, because I was not ready. I was not whole. I was a woman performing a marriage instead of living one. And that is the hardest truth I have ever had to face. Derek never apologized. I do not expect him to. He was cruel. He was vindictive. But he was also a mirror. He showed me the woman I had been pretending not to see. And for that, in a strange way, I am grateful. Because now I see her. Now I know her. Now I'm learning to forgive her. And maybe someday, when I am ready, I will love again. Not as a performance, not as a lie, but as a woman who has finally stopped running from herself. A woman who can look at her past and say, "That was me. I did that. I am not proud of it. But I am not ashamed of it anymore, because it made me who I am. And who I am is someone who is still learning how to love. Someone who is still learning how to be loved. Someone who is still learning how to be real. Marcus is remarried now. I saw the photos on social media. She is pretty. She looks kind. She looks like someone who has never had to bury a version of herself. I hope he is happy. I hope she is real. And I hope that someday I will be real too. Not for him, for me.